All right, so previously on the left-hand side, if you look at your takeaway, you got that club a little bit sort of stuck behind you.
Yep.
Taking the club away, and now that position there, the club's now basically... it could be better, yeah. I mean, that club's stuck behind here now. You either use a lot... That club's going to come from here, a lot of hand action required, or a lot of right shoulder, or a combination of both. It's, I would say it's more luck than judgment, but you've got to use a lot of hand action to square that club face up, or a lot of big shoulder movement. Hence the reason why you couldn't really draw the driver. There's not enough loft on your driver unless you swing massively up on it, which you've been doing a bit more in the past sort of few months and so on, to get that club back to the ball successfully. Okay, so as you get to the top of the back swing, right to the middle a bit further. Even when you're coming in here now, that club now is behind your hands. It's moved forward a little bit because of your right shoulder, just because of your hand action, but it's still coming for me too far behind. So your first few shots when your hybrid basically went there, then it went there, then it kind of did that, and then it went and it was over there somewhere. So and then the last one was kind of like fairly straight, but 5 shots it took you to get a really good one.
Sounds good, doesn't it, for this lesson?
Yeah. What about the positives, isn't it, mate? Okay, so the simple practice drill, get the club to there. In an ideal world, a little bit higher, okay, with the club face, because what you'll find out when the club starts there, there'll always be a bit of a bounce down to get momentum. As you go back here, now the club is just dropping down a little bit there, and then it kind of goes up. So you're still a little bit here. Yeah. Behind your hands just side. Okay, so we actually mark the club faces there, and there's your hands. The club now is not there, it's there, it's moved over probably about the width of your quads and the gap behind your backside there. Okay, the top of the backswing there, fine. Now as the arms are going to drop down from here, that club, as you can see now, you can't quite see it 'cause it's basically in your arm there. The next frame down, see the club face coming into view is there. Okay, so the club now is kind of more in front, and that's what you said yourself when you feel like you're fading the ball, the club just gets more in front. You draw the fade by moving the club this way with your forearms rather than your arm movement changing the path. Okay, so we get the left arm nicely connected, the club can come back down a nice angle, obviously then releasing through your normal. Your arm now is going to swing and release the club through your left shoulder that way and through the target. If it means one day to the next you're fading to drawing, I wouldn't worry. I think your irons, so this 5, 6, 7, 9, 8, 9, you're going to be sitting in the sort of that sort of soft draw there. Yeah. Maybe a bit of a, I mean those 2 shots there, the last 2 or 3 have literally gone up and down the same path. One drew like a yard left, one faded a yard right. It's not really the deal. I think you'll be able to.
Fade shot,
that was the fade one. Yeah. If you look where the ball started off there, okay, that ball started just left of that yellow line. I think it sort of got towards the end. It kind of ended up just pretty much on the target. Okay, but that was the club more in front. When the club comes from here now, the ball now you can see starting right of that line. See where the club's making contact with the screen. It's you got to use the square of that club face is with fast twitch fibres. And if you're doing that, it's not going to work, is it? So butt in, head out, as the sort of phrase goes. Practice that. I would say do 3 or 4 of those swings where you get the club to there. Ideally a little bit higher. Okay, so what you want to try and do is get the hands kind of a bit more up here and the club face a bit higher up this way. If it's too far down there, it drops momentum and then it still whips a bit on the inside, as you saw the club was kind of a little bit.
I had a feeling when I was doing the full swings, I don't know if it was the right feeling to have. So when I'm taking the away, so I've like, so instead of obviously grip on I felt like I was like sort of lifting the club up. Feels I'm lifting the club up, but pushing the grip down.
So because that pushing down. Do you have alignment sticks? Not on you now, no, but if you've got alignment sticks, one thing you can do is a simple little drill. You can set up a golf club. It'll work better with the alignment sticks, obviously got a bit of flex. But start there and basically straight your leg. Okay, if you go, alright, so that's just basically a takeaway feeling, okay? Yeah, the alignment sticks, a bit of flex on them will actually sit more comfortably. You stick a golf ball, that's going to really dig into your side. But yeah, the feeling is if you go back to the golf ball there now, as you go back is that kind of pushing the butt end of the club down so the club goes up. That's what you feel. That's great. As long as that creates that, that's good. Okay, so because your move is that you're right. Yeah, exactly. You're doing more of this rather than that. Yeah. So get that club down, butt of the club down. Say butt in, head out. But that's what I'm saying. It's giving you something to focus on now, and then once that club gets in a better position, the club then is going to come back. It's just a question of how fast then you rotate your body and whatever you want to do. And the telltale sign will be, can you hit that was an 8-iron and you're going 170? Can you hit a full swing 8-iron like 120? Because if the club is in line, you just change the speed, nothing's going to be different. If the club gets behind you and you slow it down, the timing is going to be either a big block or a big hook.